Hello everyone and welcome. BogartWilley here. I'm gonna need you to go fuck yourself. Okay. Alright.
Okay. Nope. Okay. So I made a video, I don't know, 2-3 weeks ago, something like that. And I went through a lot. It was like over an hour long. Nobody really watched it. The couple people that did watch it said I was a bit ranty in that video. So I decided, rather than trying to push myself and go through that whole mess of data, I'll break this up into piece by piece videos. So today, in this particular video, obviously you can see we're looking at power supplies. Now I'm going to tell you some things you need to know about power supplies. We're going to debunk some misconceptions. We're going to get you all educated. Alright? Now the first thing you need to know about power supplies is when you buy a power supply, you should probably know what other parts you're going to buy for the system first. Add up what those power wattages are going to be. Okay? If your GPU uses, say, 400 watts and your CPU uses 125 watts, you should probably be going for about a 1200 watt. Okay? If you can find one, get like a 1600 watt. And the reason for that is, one, a lot of people think that when you buy a, in this case, 850 watt, right, that you're going to always be pulling that much power. That's not the case. Your machine is only going to pull as much power as the machine is calling upon at the time. Your maximum output possible period is 850 with an 850 watt. So don't think that just because you have a really big number that you're really going to be like cranking that much out on your power bill. It's not like that. Number two, screw your review. Number two is, when you buy a power supply, if your machine total is pulling 500 watts, again, you should be looking at no less than 1,000, because the way that the capacitors work, your efficiency curve is going to work most efficiently at right around double your total wattage usage. So anything beyond that, let's say you're pulling 500 watts and you got, say, a 1500 watt, that's going to be better for you, because for one, you're going to get a longer lifespan of the power supply, and number two, you're going to be using less power on your power bill. If you say, let's say you have a 750 watt machine and you have like an 850 watt power supply, that power supply, even though it technically has enough power, enough juice to more than clear it, it's going to be working overtime. It's going to be putting more heat out into your room. It's going to be using less of that energy, that 850 watts, towards powering your machine than it really needs. So just no less than double. Okay? That should be a rule. You can do it less. Like, say you have a 500 watt, you could get like a 850 watt. But if that's the case, then you need to know that when you buy that down the road, you need to be replacing that power supply. Okay? Alright. That's another thing. Now, Gold Plus, or 880 plus, I'm sorry, I'm old. If it is not at least 80 plus bronze, don't buy it. Okay. Now the reason is, generally speaking, first of all, the white, bronze, silver, platinum, and titanium, those didn't used to exist back in the day. When this first hit the scene, it was 80 plus gold only. Now what this means is, under this much load, X% of the power supply's wattage is being put towards powering the machine, like we just went over. If it seems like I'm having trouble talking or I'm breathing a lot, that's because that's the case. So basically what this means in English is, if you have an 80 plus bronze, right, then let's say you're using 100% of the wattage. That means 18% of the power that it's drawing, that you're paying for on your monthly bill, is not being put towards powering the machine, and is instead being pumped out into the room as heat. Okay, you don't want that. Now, like I said, really, 80 plus bronze should be your minimum. I don't know why the white one exists. I think it's kind of dumb, but also the platinum and the titanium, unless you're making, $85,000 a year or more, don't buy these, okay? If you can afford them, maybe you get them on a sale or whatever, go for it. Just go get it. But as far as your even upper end gamer, or maybe streamer, content creator, whatever, if you're just building a system to like browse YouTube and play Fortnite or whatever, don't buy these. You pay a serious premium for these two. And hold on, capture cursor. Okay. You pay a serious premium for, why is it not working? Whatever. You pay a serious premium for the platinum and the titanium. Okay, don't buy those. So, as far as brands that you should be paying attention to, Seasonic makes a lot of the other top brands, and they're just rebrands of that brand. So a Seasonic power supply is good. There's no reason why you should steer away from it, unless it doesn't have the wattage or the proper certifications, or maybe it has bad cooling, or maybe it has not enough amperage on each rail, which that's another beast. Maybe I'll cover that in a separate video. Ooh, excuse me. Now, things that you need to not buy, okay? Don't buy a fully modular power supply. And again, here, fully modular. The difference between a modular, a semi-modular, and a non-modular power supply is a fully modular. Let me go with this one. Can I get one that's semi-modular from here? Of course I can. Okay. Semi-modular. Oh, this is another thing. If you see on computer products, computer parts, if you see 100% Japanese capacitors, That's good. Basically what that means is it's got more durability than something that doesn't say 100% Japanese capacitors. Whether it's power supplies, motherboards, those are really the two main things, but also with GPUs. It's very rare that they bother with GPUs, but with power supplies and motherboards, 100% Japanese capacitors, that basically means that you get an extra blanket of, not really a guarantee, but it's them basically saying that we've tested the hell out of this, so it works. Okay? And I'm sorry if my mic has been clipping this whole time. I just thought it hit the red line. I'll go, before I upload this, I'll put it through my editor and try and even things out with a limiter and whatnot. But so fully modular and non-modular, semi-modular, etc. Let's go through that. Also, right here, 10-year warranty. That's good. Usually a 3-year warranty. Nice ones get maybe 5-year warranty. But if it's got a 10-year warranty, they stand by their product. Semi-modular, here we go. Okay, now a fully modular power supply, as you can see here, all of these connectors are removable. A semi-modular power supply, all the ones that matter are removable. The ones that are absolutely required to power the machine are not removable. Now, I ask you, why would you pay a premium to remove a cable that 100% of the time the machine is on is absolutely, completely and utterly required to be plugged in? Why would you pay to remove it? So you can lose it and then have to buy another power supply? Don't do that. Also, a PVIA. These guys make a number of items in the computer scene. They're pretty good. Some of the top brands such as XClio, Asus, I'm not looking them all up right now, but some of the top brands in the scene are just rebranded PVIA products. And sometimes a top brand will either make their own or they'll rebrand something else and then they'll sell it to a PVIA, and then a PVIA will rebrand it as an PVIA product. So just keep that in mind when you're shopping around. It's not uncommon for an PVIA product to literally have the logo embroidered from another top brand in the object. Oh, it's getting hard to talk here. So, doesn't say what the warranty is like. Now, right here it says 135 millimeter fan. That's a larger than average fan. Most of the time you're getting 120 millimeter fans. Now, with fans, and this goes for system fans, case fans, power supply fans, doesn't matter. The larger a fan is, generally speaking, the less power it requires in order to pump the same amount of air as a smaller fan. It will be quieter and it will turn at less of a velocity to pump the same amount of air. So keep that in mind. Bigger is better. Okay. they don't talk about a warranty. Okay. Now, with this dude's review here, the chances of him just having gotten a bad batch are pretty high. Apivia, in all honesty, I'm not sure what's up with them not giving a warranty here. That's very curious. Maybe you would have to track that down on their site, but I'm not fucking gonna do that right now. Apivia is good. Okay, generally speaking, and he's talking like he bought it and like 2-3 months after he bought it, it was acting up. He should have ripped it out of the machine and returned it to Amazon. That's what I would have done. As soon as I had... Ooh. Okay. So, I would say maybe stay away from this particular power supply, but it is what it is. Apivia is a good brand. I know I'm repeating myself here, but that's what you do when you fucking forget shit. But Corsair, I would say if you've got the extra cash to flip for a Corsair power supply, there's nothing really bad about Corsair for the most part besides the premium that they charge. But they really should be advertising this in the thing here, but this is a 10-year warranty. Now, again, you're paying a premium for the fully modular, but in all honesty, even if this was my pocketbook, I would probably buy this power supply, because $150 for a 10-year power supply warranty, dude, wow. And it's got Japanese capacitors. 135 millimeter fan with a magnetic levitation bearing. Now, for those that don't know what that means there is no moving parts when it comes to the bearings of the fan. This fan will last forever. The motor will burn out before the bearings will. And 99% of the time, when you hear loud fans, fans that bind up, etc., it's not because the fan is bad. It's because the bearings went bad. Magnetic levitation bearings, fans, they're like $35-$40 a piece, dude. Pre-corona price. So just keep that in mind. You're also paying a premium for that. And yes, I do my shit all off the cuff, so deal with it. Yeah. Right here. This is what I was talking about earlier. About making sure you buy more wattage than your machine requires. This is why. Not only the less power you use in what's the word? The less power your machine pulls in comparison to your power supply wattage is going to not only dictate the amount of power your machine costs you on your bill, the amount of heat pumped out into your room, but also noise. And of course lifespan, like we went over earlier. So for a lot of those people that's saying that they need like a be quiet fans, or they want like what do you call it, a super quiet system, just buy a larger fan. Also, quiet systems are overrated. Okay, your computer doesn't make that much goddamn noise. Let's just be honest here. It doesn't. For the 3 people on the planet whose computers are actually loud, how loud is it really? Are you going to be playing a video in the background and not really hearing your computer? Or are you really just spending hundreds of dollars so that 15-second boot time can be 2 decibels quieter? Yeah, that's what I thought. Okay. Zero RPM fan mode, that literally just means if it's not pulling too much power, if it's not working too hard, the fan doesn't need to spin at all. That's all it means. Which literally just goes back to buy more than you need, because it costs less in the long run. Like I've said, like what, 12 times now? Okay, I'm about tired of talking. It's getting pretty painful to talk. So I'll wrap this up. That's all you really need to know about power supplies. Beyond that, the new stuff, like I think I don't know if the RTX 4000 series has it, but I think it does. RTX 5000 will almost certainly have it. The new connectors, 99% of people do not need to worry about those. There's no reason for you to invest in it right now, even if you do have the money for it, because the next about 7 years in computers, every year is going to update and introduce something new that's going to be a complete game changer. So don't try and future-proof your machine right now, okay? If you're building a new machine, even if you're going to use it for 5, 10, 12 years, just build a DDR4 machine unless you're going AMD, okay? If you're going AMD and you really want that future-proof, go with the Ryzen 7000, but we'll cover that in another video. Okay, my next video will probably be about chipsets. And that'll probably be maybe 2 weeks from now, 3 weeks from now, something like that. I don't know. I'm pretty lazy. You're just gonna have to deal with it. So, just plan your build. And if y'all need help planning a build, just hit me up on Discord, hit me up in the comment section. Maybe come in the stream when I'm live one day. Whatever. Okay? I got no problem helping y'all out. Alright, like, favorite, comment, subscribe, tell me go fuck myself, all that good jazz. Bye.